Welcome in. The Steelers blown out against the Houston Texans. This is the Bleav in Steelers post-game show. Steelers losing 30-6. Welcome in. I'm Mark Bergin, and hopefully can provide some therapy for people who watch this game and for Steelers fans out there. And we could go through stats, the ineptitude of the offense, the ineptitude of play calling, the offensive line getting beat up front. But really, it comes down to the 4th-and-1 play where you're trying to get back in the game. You have Kenny Pickett in a shotgun formation rather than put him under center, try to run a quarterback sneak, try to run Najee Harris, try to run play action, and you run a shotgun play that doesn't work. It wasn't working all afternoon, and Kenny Pickett trying to make plays out of the sandlot. His best pass today was to Najee Harris, but on that 4th-and-1 play, he gets hurt. He's out with a knee injury. We don't know how long he'll miss. Could be several weeks. I don't know the extent or the severity of the knee injury. Pickett leaves the game. Mitch Trubisky comes in. And at this point, you start 2-2. The offense has looked poor, maybe other than the week 3 game where it was better against the Raiders. But it's not faring much better for Matt Canada. And at this point, it's like, what more would you want to see from him for him to retain his job? Steelers have the Ravens in week 5 ahead of the bye week, but this today, I think, was even worse than the week 1 game against the San Francisco 49ers. We knew how formidable the 49ers would be. I might be able to rush for 100 yards for the 49ers. Now, that's a bit of a hyperbole, but you knew that going in, the 49ers in week 1 were among the NFL's top teams. Today, against a first-year head coach in DeMeco Ryans and against a rookie quarterback, they looked much better than you. And Stroud goes for more than 300 yards again. No turnovers for the Texans. And that's huge. No turnovers for the Texans. Kenny Pickett had 1 for the Steelers. And CJ Stroud just looked much better. 360 yards through the air, 16 of 30, 2 touchdowns. Pickett, 15 of 23, 114 yards and an interception. You tell me this too. If anyone objectively looking at this would say, through 4 games, compared to what we've seen since week 4 of last year with Kenny Pickett, you'd rather have Stroud than Pickett right now. And I'm not being overly harsh from 1 game. I'm just telling you what I see with my own 2 eyes. And the Steelers do not get it done today. The play calling is unimaginative. It's predictable. And there needs to be changes made. You've got the bye week after the Ravens game in week 5. I know the Steelers don't typically do this mid-season, but it can't get much worse. That first half of offense was an absolutely pathetic display of offense. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. When you finish with, like, was it 54 yards in the first half on offense? Was it 53 yards of offense in the first half? 53 as a team. As a team. I thought the defense played better in the second half, but guess what happens yet again with this Steelers team? You lose time at possession. Almost 33 minutes for the Texans, and this was a game 30-6. I'll be honest with you, I don't even think it was totally reflective. The Steelers were just point blank, period, dominated today. Dominated today. A lot of people tuning in. Big Hoagie says, enough of this already. Steeler Chick 46 says, other teams know our plays. Think about it. If it's predictable for us as fans, what do you think opposing defensive coordinators, coaches, scouts, opposing players are saying about this offense? I don't know how you're supposed to win when this is your level of offense in 2023. And then it's like, we're trying to evaluate what we have in Kenny Pickett. And with young quarterbacks, if they're any good, they quickly outperform their rookie deals. And with Kenny Pickett now, because the offense hasn't been good enough, you want to point the onus at Canada. I don't think the offensive line has been great either. I know Broderick Jones went in when Dan Moore Jr. got injured. Pat Freiermuth left this game with an injury. But now I'm starting to question, is Kenny Pickett really the guy? And it's a 4-game sample size, but now that he's going to be hurt, and if it's say it's an ACL tear and he's done for the year, say that I don't know what the extent is, but let's imagine that at least for week 5, it's probably going to be Mitch Trubisky under center for the Ravens. I'd honestly be surprised just given what I saw, and that Pickett really didn't seem like he could put weight on that knee when he was leaving the field. And so then are you supposed to hang on to Kenny Pickett? Like, what's your plan? And Matt Canada, it was all-time bad. I thought it couldn't get any worse than the first 2 weeks of the season. 53 yards of offense today in the first half. And the Steelers in mop-up time, they finished with 225 yards of offense. How much of that comes when the game's already out of reach due to multiple scores? And at what point do you say, we got to make a change? This isn't working. And whatever the alternative is, it will be better than what we saw this afternoon in Houston, because it was just downright embarrassing. And again, if you're a Steelers fan, a lot of times, here's the way I look at this, right? When you evaluate talent, objectively speaking, would you rather have CJ Stroud or would you rather have Kenny Pickett? Some of that's coaching, some of that's play calling. But I look at Stroud, no turnovers. I know his completion percentage was just a hair over 50%, but he looks legit. And through 4 games, he doesn't have an interception. CJ Stroud, compared to the other rookies we've seen, Bryce Young struggled again today. Richardson's back out there. CJ Stroud might be the best of this bunch. And we saw that this afternoon in Houston. But with Matt Canada, what can you point to say that's the Steelers' offensive identity, or that's why he should keep his job? Because 53 yards of offense in one half isn't going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. Someone's saying, call Mark Leftwich. I'm just sick of the excuses with Canada this was the year where I said the sum has to equal its parts because you actually have some offensive talent on the offensive side of the ball. You bring in Allen Robinson, you draft Broderick Jones, you bring over Isaiah Seumalo, Jaylen Warren, Najee Harris, year 2 of the two-headed monster in the backfield, Darnell Washington to get multiple tight ends, like Calvin Austin III's finally playing back from injury. I know Deontay Johnson's still hurt right now, but like, come on. Come on. It's just, again, and I go back to the 4th and 1 play. The 3 things that I would do: put Kenny Pickett under center. The Philadelphia Eagles, why other teams don't do this is beyond me. And I know Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. Put your quarterback under center and do the push play that the Eagles do, or try to replicate that as best you can. The Eagles are almost unstoppable with that play. So that would be what I would try, number 1. And if you get stopped, you get stopped. So be it. Number 2, Najee Harris was a first-round pick. Give him the ball under center, see what happens with the multiple tight end set. Or 3, run a play action pass. If the middle is blocked up and you can't get the push up front, run a play action pass. 4th and 1 in a shotgun formation. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're on our couch watching this, explaining that this doesn't make sense. People are paid to make these decisions. Steelers are trying to claw their way back in the game, and they decide to run a shotgun on a 4th and 1 call, critical down. Got to have it down. Got to have it play. Go to your best play in the playbook. And that's what you draw up. Kenny Pickett's best play today was on a scramble pass to Najee Harris, where Najee comes out of the backfield after picking up blitz protection. That was not schemed up. That was not drawn up. That was, let's try to make something out of nothing. Where are the plays that are schemed up for your young second-year quarterback to have success against a young defense? That's what a good coordinator will do. And I go to the 4th and 1 play, and I scratch my head of what were the Steelers trying to accomplish there? And go with the things that work, self-scout, scout other teams of, hey, this strategy works, let's try it ourselves. And if the Steelers had failed on a quarterback sneak play or on a run play under center to Najee Harris on a 4th and 1, I could live with that. But whatever the Steelers were trying to do, and you could say, well, hindsight's 2020 or Monday morning quarterback, why are you in a shotgun on a 4th and 1 play? Someone explain that to me and make that make sense. I'm heated. I'm fired up about this, and it's horrible. This was, to me, the worst loss of the Steelers season, even worse than the opener against the 49ers. And it's amazing you beat the Browns on Monday Night Football, in part because Nick Chubb got injured, in part because Alex Highsmith says, I'm going to put the team on my back. Week 3, it was, okay, maybe you can build on what you did against the Raiders. But this offense, that's going to hamstring the defense. The defense is going to get stuck out on the field too long. And it's just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. The Steelers don't put themselves in opportunities for second and manageable, third and manageable. It seems perpetually they're in second down and long, third down and long. And that was the same narrative today. And it was the 4th and 1 play where Kenny Pickett got hurt that I'm just questioning everything. And it looks like Mitch Trubisky is going to be the guy in week 5, depending on the severity of Kenny Pickett's injury. We'll find out about that more, I would assume, in the coming days. But it didn't look good when you can't put weight out on your knee. It didn't look good for the Steelers. And I just don't understand what it is they were trying to do on 4th and 1 and you're in a shotgun formation. Put him under center, give the ball to Najee, run a play action. I would do one of those 3 things. Or if you are going to run him in a shotgun, why not bootleg him to where if he doesn't have anything open, he can try to run for it instead of a traditional shotgun pass. It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Look, the Texans with D'Amico Ryans, Stroud's good, Anderson off the edge. Texans pretty much won the draft, and Stroud looks like the best of the bunch through 4 games of the rookie quarterbacks. And this was a good defense. They're going to take on the identity of D'Amico Ryans, the guy who was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers a year ago. And they're playing in a weaker division in the AFC South. They're sitting at 2-2. They're playing with house money. Played with a lot of confidence and played inspired football as J.J. Watt gets honored into the team's Ring of Honor before today's game. Yeah, there's a lot of comments and people are as fired up as I am, but it's got to start with the OC. There's got to be accountability of saying this offense is broken. It's not good enough. What are the things that we need to do? I think it's play calling, and I think it's predictability. Make a change because we're going to keep running into the same problems over and over and over again from what we've seen to this point. And where's the accountability offensively? And look, again, wouldn't you rather have Stroud than Pickett? I hate to say it, but it's just the truth from what I saw this afternoon. My name's Mark Bergin. Thanks for watching another edition of Bleav in Steelers. We'll be back on Monday recapping this Texans-Steelers game and all the action from NFL Week 4. So keep it here. Hope all of you find a way to manage and enjoy the rest of your weekends. I'll go ahead and sign off here. Again, my name's Mark Bergin. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch.